In this episode, I meet up with local guide Angela, who takes me mustard shopping, then on to my favourite perfume shop, followed by a visit to the magnificent Cologne Cathedral. After a huge lunch in a traditional brewhouse, I discover the darker side of the city's past and learn what the stumble stones are.
We will see the Mustard Museum.
The Mustard Museum.
Did you count with it?
Well, I love mustard. So.
You love mustard?
Yeah,
okay,
after
so
you.
that's the place we have to go. So, Alastair, you
Smells
know
good.
where you are? You smell it? Mustard. Real mustard. You know, when I travel, I always think, nice, all the things they have. But they don't have real mustard. I need my German mustard, not that strange yellow sauce. And look what a variety we have here.
Angela, I know that in Germany mustard is important.
Yes.
And you have a lot of different kinds,
Yes.
a lot of different flavors, because I live in France and the mustard's good, but there's really only 2 or 3 different flavors.
Oh, Alastair, I love to hear that, because all the people think, hey, the French, that is gourmet food. And about Germany, they often think, only sausages and bread and beer. But don't reduce us too much. We have good food. We learned a lot and we have a long tradition. From the Middle Ages on, we made mustard. And on every table in a beer house, you will always find mustard. Real mustard, not a straight yellow sauce.
So just tell me something about the different flavors we have here. What is this? Is there a classical one?
Well, yes, I have a classical one. I think that is this one. Yes, that's a historical mustard, historischer Senf, you see? Historical mustard. And the thing is, they make it here with the same taste as they think it had when they made the millstone they use. They use an old millstone. You know the material you use while you are producing
grains.
Yes, to grind it, correct.
Yeah.
And it's a millstone from 1810. You know, so it's an old receipt. So you eat what people ate 200 years ago.
But now we add all kinds of things to have different flavors.
Yes, that is a historical one. Then here they have cayenne mustard, a bit hot.
A little spicy, yeah.
That is not so traditional, so they improve also a bit and try to find new tastes. But the historical one and then newer ones. Here we have one from India, curry
mustard. Okay.
That is interesting, you know, because
Could be good with the sausage.
Correct,
No?
correct.
Yeah.
The most famous sauce for sausages here is curry sauce. That's often surprising to the people. They say, hey, is that an Indian sauce?
Yeah.
No, that's very German. If you come to Germany, you have to eat a currywurst. Wurst, you know, a sausage. And that is a curry sauce. Currywurst, it's a must.
And a glass of beer.
And a glass of beer. But the real one. Kölsch.
So which is your favourite? Oh, the Kölsch. Well, we're going to drink some later. Which is your favourite, Angela?
I'm a conservative, traditional person. I love the historical one. Yes, absolute. Yeah, but it's an invitation to try out.
And every German kitchen would have in the cupboard somewhere a bottle, a mustard.
Oh yes, absolute.
Because I know it's a big thing. Yeah.
It's not a thing of price. You think the price doesn't matter, it must be good. We should.
That's great. Some. So I think I should. I'm going to be like you. I'm going to take the traditional.
I would recommend it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. Please, sir.
You can taste the mustard if you like.
Have a little taste? Yeah, thank you.
Maybe Napoleon ate the same mustard. He was here in 1810.
I'm liking that a lot. That's good.
It's really tasty. And you see the seeds inside, right? Real seeds.
No, it has a good sort of vinegary taste. It's lovely. So drop it in here.
Life is one only. We have to eat the best things we can.
Bye.
Thank you.
Angela, we can't really come to Cologne and not come and see what's behind us right now. And you know, one of the amazing things about it, apart from its incredible size, is the fact that in a city that was 95% bombed in the Second World War, this wasn't, and it still survives.
Yeah, that's often surprising. In fact, you often still read in books that they didn't hit it, that no bomb hit it. That's not right. 14 big bombs hit it. But it's still, we call it a wonder, that it is still there. There's several theories why it was not bombed more. There's one theory that the pilots in the airplanes used it as a landmark. They needed orientation. They didn't have navigation system. They just had their eyes to fly. So they needed orientation, and that's why they left the two spires there. Yeah, it's one theory. I prefer the theory that it is a wonder. We have a good connection to God. We built such a nice cathedral for her.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle, absolute. But 14 big bombs hit the cathedral, yes. It was damaged. The roof was destroyed to 80%. There was this big hole produced on the left tower. You see now it's a white stone. Later they covered that part again. Yeah, there are many damages which are still repairing today. Yeah. The black color will stay there. We don't clean it. No.
I like it black. It's Gothic.
Oh, I love that you say that, because we love it like that.
Yeah.
We never saw it different.
It'd be very strange to have it cleaned.
Yeah, and you would recognize all the different colors of stone they used during a very long construction period. Wouldn't look homogeneous if it were cleaned. Yeah, we have a sentimental relation to this place.
If there's one thing I'll be sure to do whenever I'm in Cologne, it's to come to this store and buy a bottle of one of the world's oldest fragrances, the famous Eau de Cologne. They even have an Eau de Cologne fragrance fountain where the perfume continuously flows. I was told that it's not unheard of for some people to sneakily get a free refill here. They've been making cologne here since 1792, and the name of the company, 4711, dates all the way back to 1794 when the occupying French troops decreed that an inventory should be made of all the city's citizens and all the houses should have numbers. This magnificent tapestry shows a French military officer on horseback painting on the house number, which today is synonymous with the name Eau de Cologne.
Alastair, that is the moment. You will feel 10 years younger after this.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Prost.
Prost.
Well, I feel younger already.
You see?
Can you see it?
But attention, after 5 of them, you will behave like a baby.
Well, that's, you know, maybe after 10 I'll behave like an adult. So this is Peter's Brewhouse.
Peter's Brewhouse, Peter's Brewery.
And is this a typical...
Yeah, absolute typical. Everything is typical. The type of tables, the manner of the waiters. You saw them with the blue apron. They always have the blue apron. Since hundreds of years they have those blue fabrics. Already in the Middle Ages they were famous, those fabrics. But what is special about the waiters is that they are famous to be rude. To
be rude?
Yeah.
What, like more rude than Parisian waiters?
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
That's
difficult.
Okay.
Difficult. No, but it's a bit similar. The thing is, we know it, and when we go to beer house, we expect it as well. You know, it's a game. It's a game. They are rude, and then we try to react in the best way. But they practice 8 hours a day, so they always win at the end.
They're going to win. Yeah, they're like the kings of rudeness.
Yeah, the kings of rudeness.
A bit like René.
But that's why I like this beer house, especially when I come with guests from other countries, because they're a bit friendlier. So it's a bit more relaxed. It can be funny. but sometimes I exaggerate.
And Viking guests come here?
Oh, they love it. They love it. Not only for the friendliness of the waiters, friendlier than in other places. Well, we prepare them. You need a good preparation to come to a beer house.
Angela, this is a humongous amount of food I've got in front of me. Just tell me, what am I eating?
It is a part of the leg of the pig.
Okay.
Yeah. And the cover is fat, in fact. But you know, fat is what makes the things tasty. I don't like to eat fat, so you take this fat off later, and below there will be the very tasty meat. Very traditional.
So this is what we call a light lunch?
Yeah, light lunch.
I'm full. I'm more than full. I'm not sure I'm going to make it back to the ship.
That's a typical German dish. I will carry you.
Okay. Angela, I noticed the waiter, he just keeps bringing more and more beer that I didn't ask for. I mean, I'm happy to drink it. But,
yeah, right. I should have told you before.
Is that how it's done in Germany?
No, not in Germany, but in Cologne. In fact, when the waiter sees that your glass is empty, you have to put the beer mat on the glass. I didn't tell you.
Like this?
If you don't do so, he brings more and more and more. It's funny, the people always complain that the glass is so small. But I always say, don't worry, you will get your beer.
The residents of Cologne are passionate about their brewhouse culture and their Kölsch beer. And after our enormous lunch, the waiter, who really hadn't been rude at all, proudly explained who all the local characters were in this enormous painting. Now it was time to get serious, and Angela took me to see a building with a very dark history.
Yes, you know, when you travel, you don't want to see only nice, funny things. We saw Eau de Cologne, we learned about it. It's nice. We drank Kölsch, we enjoyed it, we had a good lunch. But it's not always fun. Everything is not fun. And you're in Germany, we have a history. And what most of the people think often about Germany, well, is beer, of course, is pretzel and so on. But of course also the Nazi time. And we have here an extremely interesting place. For me, it's one of the most impacting places, showing to the people what human beings can be able to do. We speak, of course, about the Nazi dictatorship. We are here at this house, which is called the LD house. Well, the name refers to the owner of it. Before it was abused of this building. The Nazis used it as their headquarters for the Gestapo. And it's incredible. Cologne was nearly completely destroyed, 95% of the center. But this house was not bombed. It's incredible. It's still there. Not a nice place, but still helps us to understand history.
That's a terrible irony, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, the whole city was destroyed pretty much, except for this house and, of course, the cathedral.
But there is a positive side, because many school groups visit this place. After the war, there were not many buildings left, and the city administration used the building to store documents. They had offices there and so on. And one day, some people working there discovered in the basement, when they were taking off some documents, that there were inscriptions on the wall. And then they took more documents off and discovered many inscriptions. In fact, that was a prison down there of the Gestapo. And the people who were there in prison, people from many places, from France, from England, from Poland, from Ukraine, not just Jewish people, for example, from Cologne. They could be from everywhere. And they left their inscriptions on the wall, which show what they hoped and what they were suffering as well. Very impacting. There are thousands in many languages.
And how long would people be held for in a prison like this? How long would they be in? I mean, months, years?
No. There was a relatively short time. Yeah. But of course, they didn't get a fair process.
There was
of
torture,
course not.
Probably involved.
They were tortured. Yeah. Yes, they were tortured. It's a symbol of this horror regime we had. And many people were executed. Behind the house there's a court, and what I love there, I think it was such a good idea. The court is little, and many people were shot there, but they now installed mirrors on the walls. So I asked myself, hey, why did they install those mirrors? And then I stood. For me it means it can be everyone. No? Everyone can
yeah.
get into this horrible place
Yeah.
and get into this situation.
Yeah.
No? So it's very impacting, really, to see the prison down there that are ugly little holes. But when you read the inscriptions, it's like last messages often of the people.
And today it's a memorial and
Yeah.
a museum.
It's a memorial. In fact, the prison is a memorial, but then the other floors are used as a documentation center for the Nazi dictatorship in Cologne, specifically in Cologne. And it's very good that they did that. It was not that easy to get the museum because it was still a time when there were still Nazis having positions, and it seems they didn't want to show more to the people. But I'm very happy, I'm very proud that we have in Cologne very often people who fight for that. Yeah? The people of Cologne are famous to be open-minded and tolerant, so it's good to show what can happen if people are not tolerant.
Andrew, I've seen these around Cologne in the pavements. What are they?
Yeah, we call them the stumble stones.
The stumble stones.
Stumble
Yeah.
stones, Stolpersteine in German, and it was an artist, Günther Demnig from Cologne, in fact, who had the idea to make research about where people were living, the last place they were living, where they decided on their own to live, before brought to a concentration camp in the Nazi dictatorship. And you find them now all over Europe where the Germans were. You find them in France, you find them in the Netherlands, in Czechia, wherever. And I think it's great because people really stop and read their names. And when I'm here with people, I love to read their names again. I love to say, here lived Caroline Goldschmidt with Ernst Richard Goldschmidt and Hans Rudolf Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
Well, listen to her names, they lived here. And they were brought from here to a concentration camp in the Netherlands, a German concentration camp in the Netherlands, and where they were murdered, of course. But you find them everywhere in Cologne. And if you go through Vienna, through Amsterdam, through Paris, you find those places.
But it started here?
It started here. The idea was a Cologne art.
You can be proud of that.
Yeah, I'm proud. Yes, I told you that I'm proud of many things in my city. Yeah, we love our city. I swear, no other Germans love their hometown as the Cologne inhabitants do.
Really?
Yeah, well, we have a sentimental relation to this city. We love it especially. It's not the nicest city of Germany. There are nicer ones, I know. But I don't think that other people love the place they live so much as we do.
It's got a big heart.
Yeah.
What's the name of this bridge, Angela?
The name of the bridge is Hohenzollern Brücke. Brücke is bridge in German. And well, we have an impressive skyline, I think, with all our bridges, our bridge family, as we say, but that is the most important one. I think it has to do with the fact that it goes directly to the cathedral. Of course, it doesn't go inside the cathedral. The trains turn to the right to the train station. Often people are surprised to see a train station beside the fabulous cathedral. But in the middle of the 19th century, when they start building train stations, they considered it a good idea. They thought, fantastic modern thing, such a train station like the cathedral is another fantastic thing. That's why they built it, the train station beside. Yeah, but today all the people come here not to see trains, but to see our padlocks. That is a padlock bridge.
Just today, this bridge is probably more famous for the number of padlocks on it.
Yeah.
So these are couples who have, I suppose, put a lock on thinking that this is for enduring love, will last forever.
Yeah, correct.
I'd love to know how many of these couples are still together.
That is what I ask myself, absolute.
And then the idea is that you put the padlock on and you throw the key in the water.
Of course, you swear eternal love. No? And then you throw the keys into the river. But some people use combination locks, believe me.
I realize I made a big error in choosing my career. I should have become a padlock salesman in Cologne.
Absolutely.
I'd be a millionaire today. It's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Woohoo! But you've been an amazing hostess. Thank you so much for showing me your city. It's been a real pleasure spending a day with you.
I loved it.
And I hope if I come back to Cologne, I can come and see you again.
I hope so. When will that be?
Tomorrow.
Gerald. I'm
No,
here.
I'm Clara. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Just like a lot of cities in Europe, it's impossible not to be reminded of the chaos and the devastation of war, and Cologne is no exception. It's modern and forward-looking, but not afraid to acknowledge its past, a place where the old and the new rub up against each other, and whose importance continues to be shaped by the river I'm travelling on now, the River Rhine.